What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? If you ain't already on YouTube, what up, what up? I don't know if y'all following on YouTube as quick as the others. Welcome in, welcome in. Something very different. What the fuck is that? Let me get in my descriptions. Give y'all a few minutes to get in. I'm gonna get some things going and we're gonna start. He was there so long. What's going on? Welcome in. Anything in the chat, appreciate you. We have a Omea stream gameplay today. Give me just a second. Let me give y'all some intel on the game. So bear with me just a moment here. Let me mute this right here. And we should be good on that. So good. Appreciate y'all tuning in. If you already tuned in, great. Welcome in. Special stream specifically for Omea today. Demo is out now, so if you have seen, you can check out the demo now. It's a narrative role-playing game. So something very chill, very cozy. So, supposed to be the future and narrative game. So we'll see. We'll see a lot out of that here shortly. Hope everybody's had a great Tuesday. Can't get going. Let's see how it works. Choose your story. Before I get going, let me give some details. Let me go back to the main page. Let me visit the main store page. I'll give you guys some intel on the game. So Omea, your words shape the adventure. Omea is a revolutionary AI-powered narrative game where your personal game master responds to everything you write. No menus, no limits, just type and forge your own legend across fantasy, sci-fi, mystery, and beyond. So yeah, Steven's letting me know that I've never played anything like this in the past. So my title isn't clickbait at all. It's all through my first narrative story game. So yeah. Just a second to get started. I'm gonna do this on screen, but I want to prep this beforehand, and we'll go at minimum 2 hours. We'll probably go a little bit longer since I'm digging it off for the first 4 or 5. We'll go a little bit longer, anyways, and yeah, we're done. That'll be that. So for a look though, I couldn't even pinpoint. I'm bad about reading a book by its cover, so I couldn't even pinpoint what this might be about or the lore of it. We just gonna jump right into it. storms took your ship. You wake alone in frozen shore. Find your way off before the cold or something worse claims you. So it looks like Odin Trials, Vikings, Odin's Trials. The storm took your ship. You wake alone on a frozen shore. Find out a way off before the cold or something worse claims you. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Give me a moment. I should have done this before stream. I guess sometimes some people do like a little just chatting segment beforehand to get started. So I guess it's really not a big deal, right? It's not a big deal. Not a big deal. Yeah, I've not played anything like this at all. There's nothing similar in my Steam library. And I was thinking there probably is some more stuff in my Xbox library that are narrative-driven games, narrative role-playing games. But I certainly have not played them to where I can like name one off. So we are knocking things off the bucket list. I'm going for Gamer of the Year next year. Hell, fuck it, this year. Gamer of the Year. All categories, not just shooters, not just survivals, not just racers, not just sports games. All of them. You guys give me a moment. If you're in the chat, please say something in the chat. Please speak up. Make sure y'all like, sub up in the chat. I'm gonna go to the next room for a quick second. A little intermission, then we'll get started with Odin's Trial. Yeah, appreciate y'all. Let me go back to I want to make sure. I want to make sure I hit on all my deliverables. So the adventures scenarios in this game are created by professional game designers and reviewed by a professional QA team. Like I mentioned earlier, there is some AI powered stuff in the game, but this isn't just another AI dungeon or automatic AI game creation tool. You know, so this thing has really had some time and effort put into it. Again, demo is out now. Make sure you guys add it to the wish list. All that stuff is listed in the all that stuff is listed in the description, so you can find all the details about the game on the description. Appreciate you, Crunchfest. Shout out Crunchfest. For the game. Appreciate y'all. W Crunchfest. So happy to have a gift to the game. Like I said, I'm gonna go do something in the other room for a quick second, and we'll be back and we'll start it. Yeah, this is interesting. It looks like you get to write down what you want to happen, and it kind of configures that. So that'll be interesting. This is going to be very interesting. So, yeah, give me a moment. I'll be right back. I do apologize. Even though it would end up being time would have been time. I would have just started the stream later, but let me go do this real quick. Put your lighters up. How we doing? What the fuck did I put everything? I cleaned up yesterday and I fucking lost everything. Do you see where I put the rolling tray back? No, like what the fuck did I do? Jesus. Dude, I need like a leash on everything. How do I do that? Dang. Except one freaking day. All right. We'll get going here shortly. Give me a second almost. I'm wondering how long the game will be. Excuse me. Looks like they got a Barbie 2 on the way. Talking about everything going on. We live, baby. Y'all pull on in, hop on in, hop on in. Sorry. I got distracted. I got something playing. Alright, sorry. Back to regular scheduled programming. And am I not in streamer mode? I am in streamer mode. Okay, cool. Just want to make sure that overlay is not coming over the screen. And yeah, we're good. Excuse me. I do apologize. Okay. Odin's Trial, Ethan Winters, Survival Horror Viking Sandbox. The storm took his ship, you awaken alone on a frozen shore, find a way off before the cold or something worse claims you.
I am Hugin. Thought. Yours specifically. The only part of your mind Odin left you. Your memory waits across this island. My brother Munin. Reach the frozen passage before the blood moon peaks, or remain nothing. One problem. Fenrir's child guards the passage. Tonight it hunts the whole island. Can you outrun a god's wolf?
I'm sorry, I got somebody over here.
Your legs are heavy, stiff as driftwood. You push yourself up, and the world tilts, grey sky spinning against black rock. You catch your balance, but the cold bites deep, knifing through the sodden wool of your kirtle. Every breath drags ragged through your chest.
Shivering. Good. Means the fire in you hasn't gone out yet. Give it time.
The raven hops onto a jagged splinter of the hull, feathers unruffled by the wind. Around you, the shore is a graveyard. The sea has coughed up the dead, pale shapes tangled in seaweed, washed up like broken shells. Further up the slope, a dark smear cuts through the frost. Blood, fresh. It leads toward a motionless shape lying on the rocks above the tide line.
Choices. Shield Maiden. The dead have nothing left to give but what they carried. Or follow the Red Road. Something up there died badly.
Choices. Then
You turn your back on the sea and it's dead, climbing the rocky slope toward the blood smear. Frost crunches under your boots, slick and treacherous. The wind cuts through your wet wool, but the sight ahead drives you upward. The trail ends at a body sprawled on the flat stone above the tide line. A Viking, one of yours. His head is gone. The chest is torn open like a cracked chestnut, ribs gleaming white through raw meat. One leg ends in a ragged tangle of flesh below the knee. This wasn't a battle wound. Something bit him. Something large enough to bite a man in half.
Messy. The beast was hungry or angry. Maybe both. Look closely, chosen. The dead still speak, if you know how to listen.
the beast. I ain't scared of no beast. Ain't afraid of no beast.
Your voice rings hollow against the wind. a shield maiden's boast stripped of its warmth. The raven lets out a dry, rattling sound, not a caw, but a laugh.
Brave words. They freeze just as fast as flesh. Look at him. Chosen. Really, look.
You stand over the corpse. Up close, the ruin is worse. The chest cavity yawns open, ribs snapped like dry twigs. The flesh is pale, drained of blood, but the wound edges are raw. This happened recently. Whatever did this didn't eat much. It killed for the sake of killing. A glint of metal catches the pale sunlight near the severed hand, a silver arm ring, half buried in the frosted gore.
Silver. The dead have no use for it, but you might. The cold, however, that is another matter.
Your fingers are numb inside your soaked gloves. Shivers rack you, deep and uncontrollable. The wind cuts through your wet wool like a knife. You cannot stay here long.
Silver dead have no use for it, but you might. Silver. The dead have no use for it, but you might. The code, however, that is another matter. Your fingers are numb inside your soaked gloves. Shivers rack you, deep and uncontrollable. The wind cuts through you. Your wet wool like a knife. You cannot stay here long. We need to find shelter. We need to find food, heat, everything.
Your shout tears at your throat, vanishing instantly into the wind. The sky remains indifferent. The raven flaps once, resettling on the broken timber.
Everything the gods are generous today. Look around you, Chosen. The dead are generous too.
He gestures with a beak like black flint toward the Drakkar wreckage, half submerged in the fjord. Torn canvas flutters like a surrender flag. Further down the shore, the bodies lie scattered, cold but carrying what they died with.
Wood for fire, cloth for shelter, steel for striking. The sea took the ship, but it left the scraps. All you have to do is bend down.
Your shivering intensifies, muscles spasming in the biting wind. The cold is no longer a background threat. It is a weight pressing against your chest.
Give me just a second, sorry. I did not let the Discord know that I was live on YouTube, so that's probably something like I should do right now. Okay. The sea took the ship, but it's left for scraps. All you have to do is bend down.
You force stiff legs into motion, stumbling toward the Drakar's ribs jutting from the grey water. The cold is a living weight, dragging at your limbs. But desperation is a hotter fire. You tear at the wreckage, fingers numb inside soaked gloves, a length of driftwood, heavy and salt-crusted, a scrap of canvas, stiff with frost but whole enough to block the wind. The dead yield their last treasures too. You turn the bodies over face by faceless face, a med flask stoppered tight, a flint and steel still in a leather pouch, furs heavy and sodden, but warmer than nothing.
Easy.
A fine haul. The dead are generous when they have no choice. Now chosen, wood and steel are useless without the spark, and wet furs will only weigh you down until they dry.
The wind howls across the exposed rocks, cutting through your layers. You have the makings of a survival, but the sun is already past its peak. The shadows lengthen toward the dark forest to the east and the high cliffs to the north.
Very interesting. So I fucking, I'm assuming, depending on what I type, was able to like go seek out, like, to go like looting basically.
You scramble to gather the driest scraps you can find, twigs from the lee of the rocks, birch bark peeled from a fallen branch, and the driest pieces of the driftwood. The wind snatches at your efforts, scattering the smaller pieces before you can shield them with the torn sail. You crouch behind the canvas, creating a small pocket of still air, and arrange the tinder. Your hands shake not just from the cold, but from the weight of what happens if this fails. The flint feels slick in your numb fingers. You strike it against the steel once, twice. Sparks fly, dying in the wind before they can kiss the bark. You huddle closer, blocking the gust with your body, and strike again.
They do good? Is that good?
The steel strikes the flint one last time, and a shower of sparks rains down onto the birch bark. A curl of smoke rises, thin and fragile,
Crazy.
then catches.
This is
Flame
actually
blooms,
fire, I ain't gonna lie, it's
hungry and
crazy.
bright, licking at the dry twigs. Within moments, the fire is crackling, a living heart of orange and yellow against the grey rocks. You
That
huddle
blue
close,
flame.
the heat driving the numbness from your fingers and the ache from
I
your
didn't even do
bones.
audio shit.
Fire. The first thief and the most loyal. You live another hour, chosen.
You drape the wet furs over the driftwood near the blaze, watching the steam rise as the heat begins to pull the water from them. The mead flask sits beside you, promising warmth of a different kind. The wind still howls beyond your small shelter, but here, for now, you are alive.
Barely. Not no name, no memory.
The fire burns steady. The path north leads up toward high cliffs that promise a view of the island. To the south, the land slopes down toward what might be a beach. East, the dark forest waits, its trees standing like silent sentinels.
Yeah, EA got sold. Jesus. I think I'm doing it right. Nice. I think I am doing it right.
You leave the shelter of the rocks and descend toward the sound of gentler waves. The terrain shifts under your boots, sharp black stone giving way to pale, packed sand, then to loose drifts that grab at your ankles. The wind here is different, less a knife and more a heavy, wet hand pushing against you. Tidal pools glitter like scattered coins across the shore, trapped in the hollows of the rocks. Small shapes skitter in the shallows, crabs, claws clicking, vanishing into the seaweed when your shadow falls. Gulls wheel overhead, their cries sharp and lonely against the grey sky. Further down the beach, where the sand meets the waterline, something lies half buried in the drift. A piece of the ship's hull, perhaps, or a door torn from its frame. Beneath it, a hand protrudes from the foam, blue-white and motionless.
Another one. The sea is greedy today. Look closely, Chosen. Is he dead, or just wishing he was?
You approach the figure as a man dragged up beyond the tide line but abandoned before he could drown. He lies curled on his side, trapped under a heavy beam of dark wood. His skin is the color of old parchment, lips blue, chest barely moving. His eyes are closed, lashes crusted with ice. He is not dead yet, but the cold has its hands around his throat.
Hypothermia. The silent killer. He has heat left in him, but it's fading fast. You have the means to steal it back, or let him keep his silence.
You grab the stranger under the arms, his weight a dead pull against the sand. He groans, a low sound that barely carries over the waves, his head lolling against your shoulder. The climb back up to the low cliffs is a struggle. Every step drags, the sand shifting underfoot, the wind pushing at your back as if trying to claim him again. Your muscles burn, but the fire you built waits above, a small promise of life against the gathering dark. You lay him down by the flames. The light of the golden hour spills across the fjord, turning the black water to copper, but the warmth here is what matters. You drape the drying furs over him, tucking the edges tight. His breathing is shallow, his skin still too pale, but the color is starting to return to his cheeks. He coughs, a wet, rattling sound, and his eyes flutter open, sharp, darting, taking in the fire. Then you...
Fire. You brought fire.
He lives, another mouth to feed, another debt to owe. The gods love complications.
The man pushes himself up on one elbow, wincing. His gaze fixes on your face, recognition dawning slowly through the haze of cold.
Odd, I know you. We served together. Jarl Thorfinn's raid.
Why I'm not. Boy, I'm not from your city.
The words tumble out strange, twisted shapes that don't fit the cold air. Your head throbs, a sharp, sudden ache behind the eyes. The man, Leif, frowns, his brow furrowing as he tries to make sense of the sounds you just made.
What, Odd? You're not making sense. The cold, it must have addled your wits.
Not from your city. A fascinating lie. Or perhaps just the truth wearing a fool's mask. You remember nothing, Chosen, not even your own tongue.
It's me, Leif. We stood shoulder to shoulder at Northumbria. You took an arrow to the shield and laughed. Don't you remember the longship? The singing?
He shifts closer to the fire, pulling the furs tighter around his shoulders. His eyes search yours, looking for a spark of recognition that isn't there.
You don't know me, gang.
Odd. If you don't remember the raid, you must remember something. Your home? Your family?
I don't. Just don't know you, gang.
Leif stares at you, the firelight dancing in his eyes. He opens his mouth, closes it, then looks down at his hands as if checking they are still his own.
Not my gang. We are shield brothers, Odd. Oath, worn. You say you know your family, but you look at me like a stranger.
Gang. A strange word for a shield wall. But then your mind is a sieve these days, isn't it? Letting the important things slip through while holding tight to the ghosts.
If you truly don't remember, then the storm took more than just the ship. We need to get off this rock. There's a passage to the mainland, somewhere on the eastern shore. Ice.
Ah, the ice. The fragile bridge, cross it before the red moon rises, or stay here and become part of the menu.
Leif pulls the furs tighter, shivering despite the warmth. He looks toward the dark forest to the east, then the high cliffs to the north.
I saw tracks near the forest. Large. Not wolf. Something wrong. We should move carefully, Odd.
Say less. Lead the way, Goofy. This is very interesting. Oh my gosh. so unique. Oh my god, this game is so unique.
You leave the fire behind and step into the trees. The light changes instantly. The golden hour fades, filtered through dense spruce and birch into a gloom that feels more like twilight than afternoon. The ground is uneven, hidden under layers of old snow and fallen needles. The air smells of resin and cold earth. The wind here is different, less a howl and more a constant murmur through branches that seem to lean too close.
Goofy, I don't know that word. Is it Frankish? Saxon? Your mind is truly broken, Odd.
Goofy. A strange tongue for a Viking. Perhaps the storm knocked more than just your name loose.
Leaf scans the shadows, hand resting on the seeks at his belt. He points with his chin toward a narrow trail winding between the trees.
This way, the path leads deeper. If we stay on the high ground, we might avoid the worst of the drifts. But the shadows are getting long.
To the south, the forest seems to thin, letting in a bit more light from the open plains. To the west, the path climbs back toward the rocky cliffs you left behind. East, the darkness is absolute, a wall of trees leading toward the coast.
3 paths chosen. One leads back to the cold shore. One to open land where anything can see you coming. And one into the belly of the beast.
Door number 2, please. That's so interesting.
The trees part abruptly, surrendering you to a sky that feels too big. The forest's gloom breaks, replaced by a vast white emptiness stretching in all directions. The plains, snow lies heavy and unbroken, a sheet of frost white under a steel blue sky, where the first stars are pricking through the dusk. The wind here has nothing to stop it. It howls across the open ground, cutting through your layers like a blade. You are exposed. A single dark smudge breaks the horizon to the east, a low structure with a thin curl of smoke rising from it, the only landmark in a world of flat white and gathering dark.
No cover. If the beast is hunting, we're walking meat on a plate. That's smoke. Someone lives out here.
A hut in the middle of nowhere. Desperate or hiding. Either way, they have a fire, and fire means life. Or a trap.
Leaf pulls his furs tighter, scanning the open ground with wary eyes. The cold is sharper here, biting at any exposed skin. The hut is a long walk across the snow, but the alternative is freezing in the dark.
All that bitching. All that bitching, let's just hurry up and get to the hut. And hopefully they got some guns and we'll worry about the beast then. I gotta be the one that makes this shade.
You set out across the open snow. the wind howling against your back, driving you toward the thin curl of smoke. Every step is a battle. Drifts grab at your ankles, and the cold seeks every gap in your clothes. The vast emptiness of the plains presses in, a white void under a darkening sky. Leaf trudges beside you, head down, shielding his face from the biting gusts.
Motherfucker named Leaf.
Guns? I don't know that word. Is it a Saxon trick? Some new Frankish iron?
Guns, thundersticks from a dream. Your mind wanders strange paths chosen.
Thundersticks is
The hut
crazy.
looms closer, a low turf structure huddled against the elements. Smoke rises steadily from a hole in the roof. A collapsed garden lies frozen beside it, the blackened stalks of dead plants poking through the snow. A woodpile against the wall looks pitifully small, maybe enough for a day, maybe not. The wind whistles through the cracks in the turf walls, carrying the faint, wet sound of a cough from within.
Someone's sick. Be careful, Odd. Desperation makes people dangerous.
Man, I am not worried about these goofies.
You stride up to the low turf door, the wind nipping at your heels. The woodpile is barely a stack of twigs against the wall, smoke curling lazily from the roof hole. The coughing from inside is wet and deep, the sound of lungs drowning in their own weight.
Odd. Wait. Desperate people do desperate things. If they have nothing left to lose, they might kill us for what we carry.
Or they might invite you in for tea and cakes. This is a land of plenty, after all. Knock, knock. Who's there? Death.
Leaf shifts his weight, hand hovering near his seeks, but he doesn't stop you. The door is simple, unbarred, a slab of rough-hewn wood hanging on leather hinges. The smell of wood smoke and sickness seeps through the cracks.
The smell of sickness is crazy. Oh, what are you talking about? The smell of sickness? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? What?
The air is thick with it, the sweet, cloying rot of fever, and the sour tang of unwashed bodies.
What?
It clings to the turf walls, seeping out through the cracks like a warning. The wind does little to scatter it, only pushing the scent into your face in gusts.
It's strong. Whatever's inside, it's been dying a long time. We should be careful.
Crazy. A fitting word for this rock. The smell of death is the only honest thing here.
The door is rough wood, unbarred. The coughing from inside has stopped, replaced by a heavy, labored silence. You could knock or simply push your way in.
I don't know. It smelled like COVID in there. Oh, it smells like COVID.
The word means nothing here, lost in the wind like the smoke from the roof hole. The smell is thick enough to taste sour milk, old sweat, and the wet rattle of lungs that have forgotten how to breathe.
COVID. A curse from a land that doesn't exist. Or maybe just gibberish from a frozen mind. The smell is death, plain and simple.
I don't know that sickness. Is it from the south? The smell is bad enough without naming it.
The door hangs slightly ajar, offering a glimpse of dim firelight and shadows moving within. The coughing has stopped, but the heavy silence inside feels like held breath.
Well, let's figure out what's going on. Fuck.
The door gives way with a groan of leather hinges, opening into a dim, smoky room that smells of sickness and dried herbs. The air is thick, warm near the central fire pit, but drafty at the edges. A woman stands between you and the fire, a heavy iron cooking pot in one hand and a knife in the other. Her eyes are hard, assessing you and Leaf in a single glance. In the shadows against the far wall, an old woman lies under a pile of furs, her breathing a wet, rattling rasp.
Stop there. You're far enough. Another mouth to feed, or another pair of hands. Which is it?
We mean no harm, just seeking shelter from the wind.
Hang on.
Another stranger. Don't waste your breath, Sigrid. If they were here to kill us, we'd be dead already.
Quiet, Amma. You, Ryder. You carry steel. Why are you here?
What are you saying, cousin? You still talking about these chat niggas? Are you talking about you? Somebody at work? You got that position? Oh, that's crazy. Mm. Jesus. So
Sigrid's eyes
so there's
flick
no
to
update on
Leif,
that?
then back to you, weighing the steel at your belt against the knife in her hand. She doesn't lower it. The firelight catches the hard lines of her face, a woman carved by too many winters and too little hope.
Oh yeah, true. No, she wasn't. No, she wasn't there today. Mm. What you mean? You wow, that man said I was switching that helmet. You what?
Work something out. Words are cheap. We have food for 2 days. Wood for 1. You want shelter. You earn it.
We can hunt. Gather wood. I know the forest tracks. We're not useless.
Listen to the boy, he sounds like Bjorn, always promising to fix things with strong backs and sharp axes.
Amma, my husband is gone. You want to stay? You tell me what you can do, and you tell me your name. Raider isn't a name.
A name. The one thing you don't have. Lie, and she'll know. Tell the truth, and she'll think you're touched in the head. Difficult.
At work, going on at work. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Right. Yeah, 2026 is crazy. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's crazy.
Dave, what kind of name is that? Sounds like something a goat would say.
Dave. A strange
so it's some
name for a
girl?
strange time. Let him in, Sigrid. The boy offered work. That's more than Bjorn did in his last weeks.
You say you'll find medicine. Do you even know what ails her? Or are you just promising wind?
We can try. The forest has herbs if one knows where to look.
Sigrid lowers the knife slowly, though her eyes remain hard. She steps aside, clearing a path to the fire, but her posture says she's ready to raise it again at the first wrong move. The warmth of the room hits you like a physical weight after the wind outside, carrying the scent of burning pine and the underlying rot of sickness.
Fine, Dave. You earn your keep.
Right.
Wood is low, the snares are empty. And Amma, she needs fever root. It grows on the high cliffs to the north. If you're truly a warrior, prove it.
Mhm. Right. Why would she want to set that nigga up like that? She must not love him.
The path from the plains steepens into a rocky climb, the wind howling louder with every meter gained. You crest the ridge and stand on the high fjords, a vast flat expanse of grey stone stretching toward the sea's edge, broken only by jagged cracks and the dark mouths of seabird ledges. The moon has risen, painting the world in silver and shadow. Below, the ocean churns against black cliffs, the sound a distant roar. The air here is thin and biting, colder than anything you've felt yet, seeking
like,
warmth through wool and flesh alike.
High ground, good for seeing, bad for hiding. Odd, what is this gang you keep saying? Are we forming a new warband?
Yeah,
Yes.
I already know she's some.
The Dave Gang, a fearsome crew
I
of
know
two,
she's some
lost
black
on a
guy,
rock.
right, yeah.
The Allfather must be laughing.
Leaf scans the moonlit ground, his eyes narrowing. The terrain is treacherous loose scree, sudden drop-offs, and patches of ice hidden in the shadows. Somewhere up here, clinging to the sheer face of the cliff, grows the root that might save the old woman.
Fever root usually grows in the cracks, where nothing else can reach. We'll have to get close to the edge. Watch your step. One slip, and the waves take you.
A simple task, just don't fall. The sea is cold tonight, and the currents are hungry.
Right, she not locked in like that.
The wind cuts sharper here, singing through the jagged rocks like a mourning woman. Below, the ocean is a black void, the waves crashing against the cliff base a distant rhythmic thunder. The moonlight turns the stone pale, casting long deceptive shadows that hide the depth of cracks and the looseness of scree.
Be useful.
What she
I am
said?
thought, not a mule. I carry the weight of your mind, which is heavy enough.
Wait. Yeah, it's crazy. Period.
But very well. Look where the stone bleeds green.
He's right. The root clings to the vertical cracks, where the rain runs but the snow can't settle. It's right there. But you'll have to hang over the edge to reach it.
Leaf points to a fissure in the cliff face about 10 feet down. A few stubborn dark green leaves poke out from the stone, defying the gravity that wants to tear them into the sea. The wind gusts tugging at your furs, trying to pull you after them.
I can hold your legs, Odd. But if that rock gives, we both go.
Yeah.
A simple choice. Trust the scout, trust the rock, or trust the wind.
No, people are definitely
One of them
losing their
will lie
minds.
to you.
Yeah, definitely the latter.
You approach the edge, the pebbles scattering under your boots and tumbling into the darkness. The drop is sheer, the air rising from below freezing and salt spray damp. The root is just out of reach, waiting in the crack. You lower yourself over the edge, the wind screaming in your ears, tugging at your clothes like a desperate hand.
Say it again? Let me turn you up. So loud. Let me actually turn it down. This is my first actually paid stream. So I really don't know much about it, but it's like it's AI driven, like narratively, like so like what you type, like it's a story, but what you type, it has to determine what you type determines like how your character does or what to do. Yeah. So yeah. Oh yeah. This is 100%. Yeah, that is not for me. Not that I wouldn't play narrative in a game, but yeah, I should have put the bid a little higher. I didn't, cause like I said, I've done bids before, but now I know. No, I'm just kidding. Shout out Omea, that was fine. I appreciate y'all, but
The rock is cold and slick under your fingers, but you find purchase in the cracks.
yeah.
You stretch, your muscles straining, and your fingers brush the coarse leaves of the fever root. With a grunt of effort, you wrench it free, roots snapping and scramble back up before the stone can betray you. Leaf hauls you over the lip, both of you collapsing onto the safe, flat ground, gasping.
You have it. By Thor's beard, that was close. My arms are shaking just from holding the rope.
A daring rescue. The root lives, and so does the Dave. The Allfather must be taking a nap.
You clutch the prize, a gnarled, dirty clump of roots that smells faintly of earth and bitterness. It's not much, but it's life. The moon hangs high above, painting the fjords in silver, but the cold is deepening, settling into your bones.
Yeah,
We have what we came for. We should get back to the hut before the cold sets in too deep. Sigrid will be waiting.
As long as you work and then play, yeah, or do a little bit, yeah. Your buddy was actually looking for you last night. At T3. He said, "What mod there?" I started to say, "Nigga." But I guess they're playing Overwatch. I don't know. I don't know why either.
The descent is a nightmare of loose scree and shadow. The blood moon hangs heavy above, painting the snow in rust and the sea in black. You slip and slide down the steep path, boots skidding on stones that shift under your weight. Leaf follows close, his breath a white plume in the frigid air. When you finally hit the flatter ground of the low fjords, the wind dies, replaced by a suffocating stillness.
But they know I'm not getting no.
The red light reveals the wreckage of the Drakkar jutting from the fjord like broken ribs.
But yeah, you're right. They know you.
Further up the shore, the torn body lies where you left it, a dark stain on the pale stone.
I got.
The silence here is wrong. It presses against your ears, waiting for a sound to break it. Then, a low rumble rolls across the water from the north. Not thunder,
but I didn't even speak for you. Like I said,
That sound, it's not the wind.
All I said was,
It's the
he
beast.
said something about,
It's closer than before.
he was like, basically
The red
on
eye
lines
opens,
of-
the
he
hunter
was,
wakes. You have the route, Dave, but the path to the hut runs through the dark.
the path back to the plains lies.
Music's so crazy. Because I never be know what people want me to do when they tag me. Because obviously related to me, right? But y'all are adults. So he's like, yeah, I ain't really fuck with that. And I expressed that I didn't want no spoilers. He disregarded that and still went on. But no offense, big dog. Then he tagged me, but I'm good on cuz for a minute. And I said, what did I say? I finally said, what did I say? I said, I mean, can y'all chat it out or laugh out loud? That's what I said. I mean, I was like, man, can y'all talk it out? And then he's like, I'm good. I don't like when and he's like, I'm good, and I don't like when you force that type of combo either. And I said, I ain't forcing y'all, but I also don't see the point in time passing making a difference. So yeah, I don't know. But like I said, I didn't even speak. Now look at that, I didn't even speak for it. It's not even like you asked me. So I don't even speak for it. But all I was like I said, but I wasn't never even gonna say nothing to you, Dad. Like everybody can feel any type of way about anybody. Somebody can have a feeling about Brody, like whatever. But you bring me into it, then I'm into it. But I don't know. Right? Yeah.
East, a dark ribbon between the cliffs and the sea.
That's why I said, like, I don't
To
know
the
what
south,
time.
the beach is a graveyard of debris. The beast's roar echoes
Exactly, that's
again.
what I was like.
Closer this time, vibrating in your chest.
1,000%, yeah.
The red moon hangs low, bleeding light across the black rocks and the broken ribs of the Drakkar. Every shadow seems to move, stretching toward you like grasping fingers. Leaf presses close to your side.
Unfortunately,
his cheeks drawn, his breath coming in short,
the way
white
my brain
clouds.
thinks.
The roar
now,
comes again,
I would have
rolling
to
off the water,
This is so
closer now,
unfortunate.
a sound of wet hunger and ancient rage.
I'm just because
It's
I'll tell
coming.
you in my last job.
I can
kinda
feel it
scarred
in
me
the
to just,
ground.
like,
We can't stay here all.
just easily see.
We're too exposed.
I just easily like.
The hunter
like,
wakes. Get through this dark.
I'm just
you say.
easily like.
Bold. But the dark
the
has
adult.
teeth. Choose your path before they find you.
Whether it's
The
beneficial
path
to me or
east
not.
leads into the wolf forest, a wall of black pines. The path south leads down to the beach, open ground but maybe faster. North leads back up to the high fjords where you just came from. The beast is moving. You can hear the heavy, rhythmic crunch of paws on stone. You bolt south, boots slamming into the scree. Leaf matches your pace, his CX flashing in the red moonlight as he scans the
I will
shadows
say
behind you.
that's a lot. That's
The path is treacherous.
like I
a
said, I
steep
try not to
slope
be
of loose
candy game,
gravel
but
and
I
hidden
would say
ice.
that's
But the roar behind you leaves no
all of
room
them.
for
Also,
caution.
other than
The beast is coming. You can
you
hear
know
the
who.
heavy, wet thud of paws
all
gaining
of
ground.
them.
A sound like
definitely
boulders crashing through the
don't
undergrowth.
Speak up like they should.
It's on the ridge.
And like set
It sees
boundaries.
us.
None of them really set boundaries.
Dave, the beach waits. The question is whether you reach it or it reaches you.
Right.
The incline levels out slightly as you near the bottom, the sand of the beach stretching dark and flat ahead, but the gap is closing. A massive shadow detaches itself from the cliffs above, silhouetted against the bleeding moon. It leaps, clearing the distance in a single bound, landing with a bone-shaking impact just yards behind you.
Fuck!
You scramble down the final slope, boots skidding on loose stones that rattle like teeth. The impact when you hit the sand jars your bones, but you don't stop. You run until your lungs burn and the roar of the beast fades to a distant, frustrated thunder behind the cliffs. The beach stretches out before you, a vast expanse of dark sand lit by the bleeding moon. Tidal pools reflect the rust-colored sky, and the smell of salt and rotting kelp is thick in the still air. The waves lap gently against the shore, a deceptive calm after the violence of the chase.
We made it. By Thor's beard, I thought it had us.
A narrow escape, Dave. The hunter returns to the high ground, but the night is young. The red eye watches everything.
You stupid. Shut the fuck up, nigga. Shut up, bro. This is stupid.
You drop onto a patch of dry sand above the tide line, chest heaving. The red moon casts long, distorted shadows across the beach, turning the driftwood into scattered bones. The wind here is colder than on the cliffs, cutting through your furs with a knife's edge. Leaf paces a few steps away, scanning the darkness where the cliffs meet the sand. His CX still gripped tight in his hand.
We shouldn't stay long. The sound it carried, it knows we're here.
A quick break. Excellent idea. Sit still while the world tries to kill you. Very Dave of you.
The waves lap at the shore with a rhythmic sucking sound, dragging pebbles back into the dark. To the south, the beach stretches toward a rocky dead end. To the north, the path back up to the cliffs looms like a scar in the rock face. The beast's roar has faded, but the silence it left behind feels heavy, like the air before a storm. You turn north, boots digging into the sand as you aim for the path leading up to the low fjords. Leaf is right beside you, his breath ragged. The red moon illuminates the steep slope ahead, a scar of loose stone cutting through the darkness. Behind you, the heavy thud of paws against the sand returns, faster this time, closer. The beast is not letting you go.
It's coming. Move!
The hunter does not like to lose its prey. Run, Dave, or become its meal.
Oh, okay. That's what I was trying to tell you earlier. Them niggas is washed. No. That's what I was telling you when I first brought you around. You gotta understand it. No. They cool people though, but no. I think I just died. In this game. Yeah, they washed out, game. I just died. Literally.
Your boots sink into the loose sand, stealing your speed. The heavy thud of paws behind you turns into a wet, rattling breath right at your heels. You lunge for the slope, but a massive weight slams into the ground between you and the cliffs, throwing up a wall of wet sand. The beast lands with a bone-shaking crunch, a towering nightmare of muscle and dark fur under the bleeding moon. It turns its head, eyes burning like coals, and fixes them not on you, but on Leif.
Ord, run!
Leif swings his Sikhs, a desperate brave arc that glances off the creature's matted shoulder like a twig. The beast doesn't even flinch. A massive clawed hand sweeps out faster than thought, catching Leif mid-swing and lifting him off his feet as if he were a child.
It's been a hot one today.
There is a sickening crunch of bone, and a spray of hot blood arcs across the sand, steaming in the cold air.
Y'all got any rain? We actually had it was raining all day yesterday.
Jaws close around his torso.
The scout falls. The thought remains for now.
The beast shakes its head once violently and casts the broken body aside like a rag doll. Leif lies crumpled in the surf, the waves already reddening around him.
We gotta get through
The
this,
creature turns its burning gaze toward you, lips curling back to reveal yellowed, dagger-length fangs dripping with blood. It lowers its head, snorting the air, tasting your fear.
Near y'all? Is that burgers?
You scream, a raw sound tearing from your throat, and charge. The hand axe feels light in your hand, a familiar weight in a world gone mad. The beast snorts, a puff of steam and blood smell, and crouches, muscles coiling under the matted fur. It doesn't back away. It welcomes the charge.
Brave, stupid, usually the same thing.
You swing the axe in a wide arc, aiming for the throat. The beast is faster than anything that size has a right to be. It ducks under the blow, and a massive paw swats you aside like a fly. You hit the sand hard, the air driven from your lungs. It looms over you, jaws dripping, ready to finish what it started.
Oh my gosh. Alrighty. I'll probably still be in here. I'll be off this by then, but I'll probably be in. We're about to die in this game. What happened? I didn't find the beast.
The beast's massive paw descends like a falling tree, slamming into your chest and driving you into the wet sand. The air explodes from your lungs, leaving you gasping. Before you can recover, claws rake your left arm, tearing through wool and flesh in a hot, searing line of pain. Blood wells instantly, soaking your sleeve and dripping onto the dark ground.
That looked painful. The hunter is toying with you, Dave. It wants you to know your meat before it eats.
The creature looms over you, its hot, fetid breath washing over your face in clouds of steam. It snorts, a wet, rattling sound, and raises a clawed hand for the killing blow. The red light of the blood moon gleams on its matted fur and the yellowed fangs that promise your end. You are flat on your back, wounded with death standing above you.
Fuck you. Fuck you, beast.
The beast pauses, its burning eyes narrowing at your defiance. It seems almost amused by the tiny bleeding thing beneath it daring to curse. Then the amusement vanishes, replaced by cold, predatory focus. The massive paw descends, not with the haste of a kill, but with the crushing weight of inevitability.
A fine last word. Short. Angry. Very Dave. Now hold still while it ends you.
Paw descends with the weight of a falling mountain, but you twist at the last instant. The blow catches your shoulder instead of your chest, driving you deep into the wet, yielding sand. The impact is still devastating, a shockwave that rattles your teeth and whites out your vision. But the sand absorbs enough of the crushing force to keep your ribs from shattering. You gasp, air rushing back into lungs that refuse to collapse, and find yourself alive in the shadow of death. The beast snorts in surprise, its head cocking as it stares at the prey that refuse to break. For a heartbeat, the burning eyes flicker with confusion, giving you the only chance you will get. The red moon gleams on the wet sand around you, and the surf foams at your feet.
Well, that was unexpected. The hunter hesitates. Don't let it think too long, Dave. It hates surprises.
The creature shakes its massive head, spraying droplets of blood and saliva, and prepares to strike again. You are on your back, weapon in hand, with a split second to decide how to use this miracle.
With your head.
You scream defiance and lunge upward from the sand, the hand axe flashing in the bloody light. The beast's head is lowered, its throat exposed for a heartbeat as it prepares to crush you. You put every ounce of strength, every ounce of rage into the swing, aiming to sever the thick cord of muscle and bone.
A bold strike. Let us see if the steel bites or the beast laughs.
steel bites. You feel the resistance of thick muscle, then the sickening give of cartilage as the axe sinks deep into the beast's throat. Hot blood sprays across your face, blinding you, tasting of copper and rot. The creature jerks back, a gargling howl, tearing from its ruined windpipe, and staggers away, shaking its massive head in shock.
Jesus.
You scramble backward, gasping, wiping blood from your eyes. The beast paws at its neck, dark fluid pumping between its claws. But even as you watch, the flesh around the axe wound begins to knit, the raw edges pulling together like wet clay. The bleeding slows, the howl turns to a low, rumbling growl of pure hate.
A fine wound, but look at it. It closes. The hunter is hard to kill with steel alone.
The beast lowers its head, the wound already a scar, and fixes its burning eyes on you again. It is hurt, but far from dead, and now it is truly angry. The red moon reflects in pools of blood on the sand.
Who? Oh, you gonna get the peppers or no? I just wonder, you didn't have to get all that. Because I know they're expensive at Target. You didn't get them, did you?
No.
Okay, yeah. Just make sure because they would have been cheaper at Publix.
It's actually cheaper at Target.
Oh, no, we good. We good. What's up, boy? I just thought about it.
No, but you told me not to, so I took it out of the cart. You gonna give a response?
Yeah, when I figure out what I want to respond with.
Creativity.
Fucking name. Please. You should have closed that door after you left out of here. Rick and Morty. Is it new episodes daily, or how does that work out? Or weekly?
You scream and lunge forward, the hand axe raised high. The beast's eyes burn with a cold, intelligent hate as it watches you
What am I
come.
supposed to kill it with?
It does not retreat. It does not fear the steel that already failed it once.
The hunter learns it knows the bite of your axe now. It will not let you strike the same place twice.
You swing with everything you have left, aiming for the throat again. But the beast is faster this time, expecting the move. It ducks under the blade and a massive paw swipes at your legs, sweeping them out from under you. Your swing is a blur of desperation and rage. The beast ducks, but you anticipate the move, dropping your shoulder and driving the axe head into its foreleg instead. The steel crunches through bone and muscle, sinking deep. The creature howls, a sound like grinding stones, and staggers back, blood pumping dark and hot onto the sand. You scramble to your feet, chest heaving, grip tightening on the haft.
You hurt it again. But watch the wound, Dave. It knits even as it bleeds.
As Hugin warned, the flesh around the axe wound ripples and bubbles. The bone snaps back into place with sickening pops, and the skin seals over, leaving only a faint pink scar. The beast shakes its leg, testing it, then lowers its head. The burning eyes lock onto yours, no longer amused. Now they are focused, empty of anything but the desire to kill. It roars, a blast of hot, fetid air that smells of old blood and rot, and charges. The sand explodes under its paws as it closes the distance in a heartbeat. It is a wall of muscle and fur coming to crush you. You have a heartbeat to decide, stand and fight a monster that heals faster than you can wound it, or run for your life.
You goofy bitch.
You turn and sprint, boots hammering the wet sand. The beast roars behind you, a sound of wet fury, and the ground shakes as it gives chase. You don't look back. You run for the dark line of the forest to the east, or the steep path to the north, anywhere that isn't here. The wind tears at your eyes and the blood on your arm feels like ice.
Run, Dave. Run fast. The hunter is hungry and you look like a snack.
Fuck.
Your boots dig into the sand, but the loose ground betrays you. A shadow falls over you, vast and suffocating, and then the weight hits. You are driven face first into the wet grit, the breath knocked from you in a single violent gasp. Claws rake down your back, tearing through wool and skin like parchment, and hot blood floods your senses. The beast's roar vibrates through your bones, a sound of triumph and hunger.
Jesus.
The hunter catches its prey. The sand is soft, but the fall was not. This looks like the end, Dave.
The massive paw pins you down, pressing you into the freezing surf. The beast's hot, fetid breath washes over your neck, and you can feel the vibration of its growl in your chest. The red moon gleams on its fangs inches from your face. Your axe lies just beyond your fingertips, washed by the tide. The beast leans down, jaws opening wide to deliver the final bite.
Fuck you.
The curse is a whisper against the roar of the beast. It ignores your words, focused only on the heat of your blood. The jaws snap shut, not on your neck, but on your shoulder. Bone crunches, teeth sink deep, piercing muscle and scraping against the collarbone. A scream tears from your throat, swallowed by the surf and the beast's growl. The world narrows to the blinding white pain and the hot, wet weight of the monster dragging you deeper into the freezing water.
A spirited end. The hunter eats well tonight.
Screw you, Raven.
The jaws crush bone and tear muscle, locking your shoulder in a vice of agony. The beast shakes you like a hound with a rat, snapping your spine against the force of the thrashing. You taste blood and salt, the world spinning in a red haze. Then the freezing water hits you, shocking the air from your lungs as the beast drags you into the surf. The cold is a physical blow, stealing the strength from your limbs instantly. You try to kick, to claw at the fur and muscle holding you under, but your movements are slow, heavy, useless. The red moon dances above the water's surface, rippling and distorting, growing dimmer with every heartbeat.
The cold takes you first, then the dark. A fitting end for a Viking. Dave, the sea claims its own.
The beast releases its grip, letting the current take what's left of you. You sink into the dark, icy embrace of the ocean. The pain fades, replaced by a profound, peaceful numbness. The last thing you see is the bleeding moon, a red eye closing in the black sky before the water swallows you whole. The jaws crushed bone and tore muscle. The beast shook awed like a hound with a rat, snapping her spine against the thrashing.
I don't know what I
Then the
did
freezing
wrong.
water hit, shocking the air from her lungs. She sank into the dark, icy embrace of the ocean. The pain faded, replaced by a profound, peaceful numbness. The last thing she saw was the bleeding moon, a red eye closing in the black sky before the water swallowed her whole.
The water took thought and memory both. There's nothing left to carry back.
The fever root drifted away in the surf, useless now. The island remains. The beast still guards the passage. Munin still waits at the frozen shore, watching for a survivor who will never come. The ice cracks. The wind howls. Nothing has changed. Stranded, not a place, but what she became.
dog. I came with that dog.
Finally. I am Hugin. Thought. Yours specifically. The only part of your mind Odin left you. Your memory waits across this island. My brother Munin. Reach the frozen passage before the blood moon peaks, or remain nothing. One problem. Fenrir's child guards the passage. Tonight it hunts the whole island. Can you outrun a god's wolf?
You push yourself up. Your knees tremble, not from weakness, but from the cold that bites through your soaked wool and into your marrow. Every movement is stiff, your fingers clumsy and white as they brush against the frost-slicked rock. The Drakkar is a broken ribcage against the black stones, its timbers shattered like old bones. The sea heaves grey and restless, dragging bodies in the shallow's pale faces you might have known, now just meat for the crabs. A smear of red catches your eye, stark against the grey stone. A trail of blood leads up the cliffside to a motionless shape sprawled on the flat ground above. Whatever killed it was strong.
Cold, yes. It has a way of focusing the mind. Better than mead for forgetting the past. You won't last long in those rags. The ship gave up more than it's dead. Look around, unless you prefer freezing to fighting.
The wind cuts through your wet wool, a constant reminder that the cold is already working its way into your bones. Hugin shifts on his perch, feathers unruffled by the gust that nearly knocks you off balance. Below, the grey sea drags the broken ship against the rocks, a rhythmic grinding of timber on stone. The path north leads to higher, steeper cliffs. South, the shore slopes down toward what looks like a beach. East, the forest looms dark and dense against the pale sky.
A plan. Good. You have until the red eye opens. That gives you perhaps 6 hours. First priority, warmth. You die of cold. The beast wins without trying. Look at the wreckage. Wood, cloth, maybe even a flask of something strong. Second, the passage. It lies east across the island, but the forest between here and there is a good place to get eaten. You could go north first, see the lie of the land from the high cliffs, or south, Scour the beach for salvage. Your move, Chosen.
The path down from the cliffs is steep and treacherous, shifting scree under your boots. By the time you reach the bottom, your legs burn with the effort, but the wind here is less biting, blocked by the dunes. You're on the beach. The shore stretches out before you, a wide curve of dark sand littered with debris. The storm threw the ship's guts far and wide. Splintered planks, torn sailcloth, and tangled ropes lie scattered among the seaweed. You scavenge as you walk, prying a lump of flint and a steel striker from a waterlogged chest half buried in the sand. A heavy length of driftwood, dry enough to burn, serves as a walking stick and potential fuel. The air smells of salt and rotting kelp. Gulls cry overhead, circling something in the distance. Further down the shoreline, near the water's edge where the foam bubbles over black rocks, you see a shape. A man lies half submerged in the surf, trapped beneath a heavy section of the ship's hull. His skin is waxen, lips blue, chest barely moving. He is not dead yet, but the sea is trying to finish what the storm started.
Ah, another survivor, or a corpse that hasn't stopped twitching. He's gone deep into the cold. Pull him out, he dies anyway without heat. Leave him, and the tide takes him. Your choice, Chosen.
You drop the driftwood and scramble to gather more, dry scraps from the dunes, tangled seaweed that might catch, anything to feed the flames. The wind is your enemy, snatching at your fingers, hissing through the piles of timber. You clear a circle of stones, sheltering it behind a piece of hull wreckage, and strike the flint against the steel. Sparks fly, tiny, dying stars in the grey afternoon, but the damp wood resists. You need to nurse this flame into life before the cold takes the man in the surf.
Well.
The flint slips in your numb fingers, striking the steel at a bad angle. A single spark catches on the dry seaweed, a tiny orange heart in the grey, but the wind chooses that moment to howl down the beach. It tears the flame away before it can breathe, scattering the glowing ember into the wet sand. The driftwood you gathered, already damp from the sea, smokes uselessly. You try again and again, your hands shaking so badly you can barely hold the striker. Each attempt dies faster than the last. The pile of fuel is ruined, soaked by the spray, and your own fumbling. The cold settles deeper into your joints, a dull ache that sharpens with every failed strike. The man in the surf hasn't moved. His chest barely rises now, a shallow, rattling breath that matches the rhythm of the waves dragging at his legs.
Pathetic. You fight the wind like a child fighting a tide. Look at your hands. You can't even hold on to a spark, let alone your life. He's almost gone, chosen. Another few breaths, and the sea claims him. Try again with what's left, or let him die. The choice is still yours.
You grit your teeth against the chattering in your jaw and crouch closer to the pit of stones. The wind cuts at your back, but the hull wreckage gives some shelter. You sort through the damp pile, finding a few scraps of dry sailcloth lint and some brittle twigs from the dunes, tiny, fragile things. Your fingers are clumsy, stiff sausages that refuse to obey. You strike the flint against the steel. A shower of sparks erupts, hissing into the dark. One lands, a tiny glow winks in the lint.
Why the
You
story
cup your
seems
hands
different
around
from
it,
earlier?
holding your breath, shielding it from the gust that howls through the wreckage. The flame catches, a fragile tongue of orange licking at the twigs. Smoke curls up, thick and white at first, then thinning as the wood takes. You feed it carefully, piece by piece. The fire grows, a crackling heart of warmth pushing back the grey afternoon. Heat radiates against your numb face. For the first time since waking, the deep, aching cold in your bones begins to loosen its grip. You look toward the surf. The man under the hull hasn't moved, but the fire is ready. It's strong enough to warm him now if you're quick.
About time I was preparing a eulogy. Don't get comfortable, Chosen. Warmth is life, but it also draws eyes. Get him out before the fire does its job for someone else.
You grab the man under his arms, his wool and leather sodden and heavy as a drowned corpse. The sand sucks at your boots, fighting you every step of the short distance to the fire. Your fingers, still numb from the cold, slip on his wet clothes, but desperation lends you strength. You heave him clear of the surf and drag him into the circle of warmth. The flames lick at his pale face, casting dancing shadows against the rocks. You strip off the worst of his wet gear and rub his limbs, forcing circulation back into frozen flesh. For a long moment there is nothing but the crackle of wood and the roar of the wind. Then a shudder racks his body, violent, deep, a sign that the cold is finally losing its grip. His eyes flutter open, clouded and unfocused, but alive.
Water. Cold. The ship. It's gone.
And he speaks, a miracle or perhaps a curse. You saved a life, Chosen. Now you have another mouth to feed. I hope he's useful.
The man pushes himself up on one elbow, blinking as he takes in the fire, the beach, and you. Recognition dawns slowly in his eyes.
Odd. I thought the sea took you too. We're the only ones?
I guess so, man.
Leaf stares into the fire, the orange light reflecting in eyes that have seen too much death in one day. He rubs his arms, trying to force warmth back into numb fingers, and shakes his head slowly.
Gone. All of it. The mast snapped like a twig. I saw you go under then the dark. We're on Ulfsea, Wolf Island. The currents don't lie.
Wolf Island, charming name. I'm sure the locals are welcoming, provided they don't eat you first.
We need to move, Odd. Stay here, and the cold takes us tonight. Or worse. I saw tracks in the sand when I was crawling out of the water. Too big for a wolf.
The fire crackles, sending sparks up into the grey afternoon. You have warmth for now, but your clothes are still soaked, and your stomach is an empty knot. The beach stretches in two directions, north toward the cliffs you came from, or east toward the snow-covered plains.
There, you got this. You can't make this shit up, bro. What the fuck? Why would he do that?
The path up from the beach is steep, a scramble over loose scree and wind-blasted scrub that leaves your lungs burning and your legs trembling.
All right, let me
By the time you crest
let's
the
pause
ridge,
this
the sun
here.
has dipped low, painting the sky in bruised
Let's pause this
purples
here. Let
and
me
red.
again. Let me give some more talking points right here, right before we wrap it up. This is Omea. Appreciate Lurk It, and it's a crutch for the code. Let me go back to my talking point. Sorry. You can leave me there. I'm about to come in there. Sorry, this is about dinner time, so I came home to do the Maya demo stream. But I appreciate your crunch press for the game. Again, y'all, this is a narrative-driven game. It uses the AI power to help narrate the story based on your responses. It's really well created for some great developers, some professional game designers. You know, it's been quality tested and everything. QA tested and everything. I think the release will be soon. I'm not quite sure of the release date, but I want to say it's soon. But yeah, you gotta make sure y'all check out the link in the description. It has a Steam link in the description. Please go wishlist it. The demo is free, just like I just did it now. I just downloaded it so you guys can go check it out right now yourselves. I know some people are into narrative RPGs. This is my first one. They're real chill, really cozy. You know, I think it's something that a lot of people may not even know of. So it's good that we're getting this out there. And yeah, appreciate Crutch Fest for the game. And we'll see y'all next time.